Babe of the day. Babe of the day. Tanya Roberts. This week I'll be doing 2 videos on Charlie's Angels. Coming up on Wednesday, Cheryl Ladd. Oh my goodness, I love Tanya Roberts so much. Her career is peculiar. Yes, she was a name actress, but she wasn't in a whole lot of TV shows or movies where she played the main character, and she wasn't in that many productions you could consider big, money-making blockbusters. However, I've enjoyed her in everything she did, and so has a lot of other people. I like the fact that Tanya had only one husband and stayed with him until he died. She was married to screenwriter Barry Roberts from 1974 to 2006. What I like best about Tanya, though, is that she wasn't lame. Tanya wasn't afraid to show some skin, and she was still a good actress. She wasn't a social crusader and didn't feel the need to call out anybody on anything. If you see her in something, you know you can still like her as a person. Tanya Roberts was born as Victoria Lee Bloom. She was around for a while before she became a name actress. Tanya did a lot of commercials, stage acting, and even worked as a dance instructor before her first film role in 1975. One early role that Tanya did that I really like was in the 1979 horror movie Tourist Trap. She looked real good in this movie. Those shorts, yowza. Sadly, her character gets killed. In 1980, Tanya earned the distinction of being the last angel of the Charlie's Angels TV show. She was hyped up considerably, but the series was already in decline and Tanya couldn't save it. This didn't seem to hurt her acting career any. As a matter of fact, it was only the beginning, and there are a lot of Charlie's Angels fans out there that do like Tanya Roberts in the show. In 1982, Tanya played slave girl Kiri, the female lead in the fantasy movie The Beastmaster. This didn't really bomb in theaters, but it didn't make that much money either. However, when this was played on cable TV, it became very, very popular. Since then, it has achieved cult film status. There were 2 sequels made in a TV series, but most Beastmaster fans hold his first film as the standard, and guys really like Kiri. After Beastmaster, Tanya was locked into playing the Savage Beauty types. In 1983, she was in Hearts and Armor, and in 1984, she starred in Sheena. Like Beastmaster, both of these films are known and have their fans, but neither were big money makers. In 1983, Tanya played Vilda, the secretary of private detective Mike Hammer in the TV movie Murder Me, Murder You. This is another role that people like Tanya for, but she gave up the chance to play Vilda again to star in Sheena. Sheena is so grossly underrated, it's almost a crime. I seriously don't know why this was a commercial flop in theaters. It was based on the Jungle Queen character from comic books, who also had a TV show in the 1950s. I thought this movie was well made. It was action-packed with a good story and a good cast. Afterwards, it got quite a bit of play on TV, and it did well on home media. This always seemed like a man cave favorite to me. I liked Tanya's take on the Sheena character. She looked awesome in the movie, and did a good job in making the character primitive and so matter-of-fact. Sheena did what made sense to her, and didn't care about others' evaluations. I think some people may not like how the movie ends. Her man friend in the movie was going to take her to civilization with him, but refuses at the last minute, knowing it would change her, one way or another, and not for the better. The romance ends there, and Sheena stays in the jungle. I believe if this movie had been successful enough to get a sequel, they would have corrected that. Maybe he would have stayed with her. The big dummy, he should have done that anyway. The initial failure of Sheena didn't hurt Tanya Roberts' career. Heck, the next year she was the leading lady in the next James Bond movie. I always liked A View to a Kill. It was Roger Moore's last Bond movie. Tanya was the top Bond girl, a geologist named Stacy Sutton. There's a lot of interesting action. Tanya was perhaps at her most glamorous in this film. Like any Bond movie, this one made a lot of money. It has, however, been poo-pooed by a lot of critics. But I say, to heck with critics. Cool is cool. After this, Tanya starred in more cult favorite films like Body Slam in 1987 and the first Night Eyes movie in 1990. She got famous for starring in a lot of erotic thrillers in the 90s decade. But my favorite thing Tanya Roberts ever did was her role as Midge Pinciotti on TV's That 70s Show. This was a great, funny character. Midge wasn't bright at all, but there were certain things she caught on to rather quickly. She was inexplicably married to the short and squatty Bob. Tanya left the series after the third season in 2001 due to the fact that her husband was terminally ill and she wanted to take care of him. But she did come back for a few more guest appearances. In the show, it was written that Midge had just abandoned the family. I always thought this hurt the show quite a bit, and although the show was still good, it was never quite the same. Tanya's final acting role was in 2005, although she remained in the public eye until her death in 2021. She was a fun actress, and the character she played will be cool and sexy for all time. Tanya Roberts earns her spot as a Babe of the Day, Babe of the Day.